hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about the impact of eating your food, eating your meals, or even snacking when you're angry, when you're stressed out and angry. We've seen this pattern over the last couple of years. You know, some people have absolutely fabulous digestion, and at some points in the week, their digestion goes for a toss. They have indigestion, they have bloating, they have flatulence, all of these problems. And then when we try to break it down, we figure out which meals did they go wrong at. But they were eating the same kind of food. And then we checked what was their state of mind. And at those particular times, they were very, very angry and stressful. Maybe it was a work meeting or working lunch or something like that. We need to understand today the impact, the profound impact that food has on every cell of our body. Whether it's good food or bad food, that's secondary. We need to understand that food is nourishment for trillions of cells in the human body and not 100 billion cells in the brain. It nourishes us physically, emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually, which is why we know that on your spiritual path, certain diets can affect your ability to be spiritual, to think clearly. And that's why certain religions, most religions, have periods of fasting, you know, before prayer, after prayer. The point is, food has this impact on trillions of cells. It's not just we eat for energy, we eat for nutrition. Okay, we have an emotional connection with food. That's why food and the environment together can make us feel good. Now I want to talk about, to drive this point clearly, I want to talk about a point called connection. When do you feel connected with a loved one, your family, your parents, a child? There's connection that happens. There's a connection between you and them, and that's why there's an emotion of love, or there's an emotion of caring or belonging. It could be the opposite too. There could be a connection and the residual emotion could be anger, jealousy, or whatever it is. This connection determines how we feel, how trillions of cells in the human body respond. It's the same thing with food. When I eat food with connection, it just behaves differently. Every cell in the human body behaves differently. And how do we know this? Try eating when you're stressed and see how you feel. Try eating the same meal when you're happy. Okay, you're eating it with your family or your friends, you're laughing. The same food will digest very, very differently. Let's get straight into the science of how this impacts us, because a lot of people out there today suffering with acidity, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, IBS. There could be several reasons, but one of the main reasons are their state of mind when they eat their food. When you eat your food, there are several intelligent processes happening in the body, diverse complexities happening in the body, right from signals sent from your digestive system, controlled by saliva, to your brain, to the production and secretion of stomach acid, digestive enzymes. All of these complex functions are happening. For them to happen the right way, you need to be in the right environment internally. So if I'm stressed out, I'm in the sympathetic nervous system, I'm not meant to be eating or digesting in the sympathetic nervous system. I digest and I basically process food, absorb it better when I'm in the parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest. But if I'm in the sympathetic nervous system, I'm stressed out, I'm angry, I'm having angry conversations. Okay, what's going to happen? I'm producing more cortisol, adrenaline, sending a signal to my digestive system, where blood is now moving away from my digestive system to the muscles of my body, preparing me for fight and flight. My blood sugar levels are high, my pressure is high, my heart rate is high. This is the sympathetic nervous system. It works this way in all of our bodies. Doesn't matter how much we meditate or how much we don't. It's how the human body works. So if I'm eating when I'm stressed, I'm not in the right environment internally. I am going to have indigestion. And in fact, eating when you're stressed is going to produce more stomach acid. And that's the reason why a lot of stressed out people who eat when they're stressed have stomach ulcers, gastric issues, and all of these indigestive issues. Because you will produce more stomach acid to digest food that doesn't have the ability to be digested because you're in the wrong system. That's number one. Your digestive system goes completely off. Number two, at a cellular level, when you're stressed out and angry, your inflammation in your cells increase automatically. Your cellular metabolism is affected. There is more inflammation. As a product of cellular metabolism, there is the production of more free radicals. This causes more inflammation. It's a vicious cycle. This decreases the ability to absorb the nutrients from the food that you eat. There are a lot of people out there who say, I eat organic, I eat all of these foods, but they still suffer from deficiencies, allergies, gut problems, because they don't absorb the nutrients the right way. This is so important when people have autoimmune conditions, when they have malabsorption, they have leaky gut syndromes, they have the inability to put on healthy weight, they have skin problems, the darkening of skin, hair fall. All of these things are related to our ability to absorb nutrients. So yes, this affects us at a cellular level. Now it starts affecting my DNA. If it starts to affect my DNA, that's the computer program in every cell going wrong. You can have anything from a PCOS to a pimple on your face to a deadly cancer. The point is, everything is environment. If I put you in a negative environment, would you like to be there? Absolutely not. That's the impact of environment on trillions of cells. If we enter a room filled with negativity, we immediately feel, this is not our place, I want to get out. How is that feeling felt? You first see, the brain perceives, that feeling is felt in trillions of cells in the human body. This shows you the impact of environment, external, internal, on every cell in the human body. And that is how food can affect emotions, emotions can affect food, and this can affect your health. Now, the third thing is the spiritual part. Connection, everything is connection. Why do you feel so good in nature when you connect with it? Connection. It's the impact, positive ions, negative ions, on all of our cells. Now, if you're angry and eating all the time, your food really has no value. In fact, you start getting more negative thoughts and angry thoughts. It blocks out the ability to connect with food. But when all of us socialize over food. You have Christmas over food, Thanksgiving over food, different festivals over food where you're connecting because the environment is different. There are happy people around the table, everyone's in a great mood, eating food. The connection is so much real. And this is the spiritual connection because of the impact of food on every cell in our body. That's why some people eat their feelings. When they're sad, they reach out for food. When they're angry, they reach out for food. Some stop eating. This is a very unhealthy relationship with food, but it affects our spirituality. There's no way you can meditate if you've overdosed on refined foods and carbs and heavy meals. You want to sleep. But you'll find in a state of fasting, you can meditate way better. You can pray way better. And then you eat after that. So what we need to understand is all of these little things count. Today, people are chasing supplements. People are chasing longevity. People are chasing probiotics and prebiotics and all of that stuff without checking the basics. Introspect. I have indigestion. How did I eat my meal? It's not always about the diet plan. The diet plan is a useless piece of paper with some food put onto it. You're beyond the diet plan. It's how you eat, how you chew, how happy you are. So now let's say I am angry and it's going to be lunchtime. And that's why I always say you should start consuming a vitamin called vitamin O before every meal. It's free. It's inexpensive. And that's why it's probably taken for granted. If I had a way to package it and bottle it, I'd make a ton of money because people would buy it. People would buy it. What is vitamin O? It's oxygen. Let's say you've had a stressful meeting or an argument. Now you sit down. It's your time to eat. You can either delay, and notice this. When you're stressed out mostly, you won't feel hungry. You will not feel hungry because when you're in the sympathetic nervous system, you don't feel hungry. But you could be emotionally hungry and you could be eating your feelings. So before your meal, use this time. Bless your food. Connect with your food. This is how you build gratitude for food. Believe me, it makes such a difference. We all know food cooked by your mom, someone who loves you, compared to food cooked in a restaurant has a very, very different impact on all the cells of our body. So bless your food. Gratitude for your food. And then vitamin O. 6 deep breaths before you eat. Sit down. Long inhales, longer exhales. So even if you're in the sympathetic nervous system, this is the quickest way to move to the parasympathetic nervous system by slowing down your breathing. And now eat when you're calm. Do not waste those calories on your body if you're stressed out. Calm down and eat. And that's why I'm against working meetings, working lunches. They don't accomplish anything. First of all, you have a hungry employee who's now going to have indigestion and you expect creation and productivity from that employee. Okay? Working lunches should be banned. They add no value. To save time, companies and bosses and leaders should learn to be more time efficient with their employees, but not use break times and sacred lunch times and break times to do meetings. It's stupidity. There is absolutely no worth that can come out of that meeting except the tick in the box that we got so much more done in a day. When you eat, it's a sacred time. This food is life and death, like your breath. Your breath is life. Your food is life. And that is why it's sacred for you. So even, let's say you're in a state now where you have to eat junk food or the worst food. You're on a flight, you don't have access to good food. Believe me, if you calm down and you actually connect with that food with gratitude, you have a choice not to eat it. But if you're going to eat it and be negative and complain and diss your food and disrespect your food and find a problem with everything else, look at the environment that you've created. Let me give you a simple example. Go down to countries or places where they're less privileged, will eat anything that they get because they're hungry. Anything. And they don't get the best food. They get a lot of junk thrown by other countries, the third world countries. But yet, they don't have the digestive problems that we have because they eat with gratitude. They eat with happiness. They're not judging their food. And this is an example of connection with food. So sometimes even, I tell this to a lot of people, you're trying to lose weight, you want to eat a dessert, fine. You've decided to eat the dessert. Eat it without guilt. Eat it without guilt. Or don't eat it at all. Don't eat it with dissatisfaction and negativity and resentment and guilt. What a horrible environment to be in when you're eating it. If you're feeling that way, just don't eat it. Just don't eat it. But if you're going to eat it, create the right environment for digestion. Eat it with love. Eat it with connection. And believe me, you're going to find a lot of change happening because connection and energy is real. We continue to focus on complication and we get no results. But when you start to focus on simplicity, okay, and how the human body works, biochemistry, anatomy, physiology, connections with emotions, everything changes. Every single thing changes. You can change the environment in a room by changing your tone and the choice of words that you use. You can change everyone's energy, and they can change yours. Imagine what happens when you change your connection and your relationship with food. So never eat when you're stressed. Never eat when you're angry. Calm down, cool down, skip the meal if you have to. Eat again when you're calm. But these are the basic fundamentals of human health. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.